Welcome, his son, nephew, young man. Let me holler at you. So apparently, not only did this rapper Offset get shot, lightweight boxing champion, he might be at 130 pounds. I forget the exact name of the division. That might be featherweight. But apparently Shakur Stevenson was hanging out with these rappers and shooting dice or whatever it is that they were doing. And he almost gets killed too in the process. I remember, I've lived long enough to where my high school basketball coach, he used to have these long lectures after practice, sometimes before practice, sometimes he'd even stop practice in the middle so he could talk. And you know, we used to look at Coach like, man, here he go doing all this doggone talking again. We ready to go. We here to play basketball. We ain't here for all this. Plus, some of us, I do suppose, maybe even heard the same rhetoric from our father or something similar. At least I did. Now, one thing he used to always say. See, I've lived long enough to see everything that Coach told us come true. And that's why they say respect your elders. That gray hair and that wisdom, it means something. So, one thing he used to always say, especially on Fridays, as a matter of fact, only on Friday nights after these games, we say our team prayer, and he'd always say, fellas, go home. Get a good meal with your family. Be ready for practice in the morning because we practice on Saturday mornings. But he always was talking about going home and getting a good meal and being inside and being safe. Well, see, Satan almost got him a 2-for-1 as far as young millionaire black men a couple of nights ago on Halloween night of all nights, go figure. So I know I touched on it earlier, but I'm going to go ahead and say it one more time because it's worth saying. Man, if you got something going for yourself, what you doing all that hanging out for? What is it that you expect to happen? What good is going to come out of you hanging out, going to all those clubs, shooting dice? You a doggone millionaire. What you around a dice game for anyway? But I digress. Look. People do business during certain hours for a reason. Past that, what you doing hanging out? I try to tell my lady friend and my mom and my sister and any females in my life, look, when it gets dark, all that stuff that you need to do, like shopping and all that, do that during the day. And especially just to be hanging out, just to hang out. I'm not going to say you're asking for trouble, but look, and I think I made a video about this. You're free to go where you want. You're free to do what you want. And you're free to do what you want, when you want, and you can say what you want. But you also have to understand that with every action comes equal and opposite reactions. I don't know if any of you have ever boxed before. I've never boxed competitively other than just doing some sparring just to, for the sake of making sure your skills are legitimate and for the exercise and it's just a good thing to do. If you're learning how to do combat sports, there's a self-defense aspect, so it's worth your time to make sure that you actually understand what you're doing. Now with the rappers, I can understand, they already rapping about shooting each other and killing each other and all this foolishness here. Okay, fine. But a boxer, a professional boxer, I don't care if you're just an amateur. Number one, the training is arduous. Number two, even just for one fight, when you're going through training camp, you're basically starving yourself. You're sacrificing a lot. It's understood that a lifestyle goes with boxing. Three, even just sparring with the headgear on, it doesn't take the pain away. It's to keep you from hitting your head on a flat surface if you get knocked out or get knocked down. So it takes away, and it also takes away, it shields you from cuts. Otherwise, your head still hurts. So you mean to tell me that a champion of the world did that type of activity for over a decade, on top of the world. You're a millionaire. Signed the top ranked boxing, I think, in the conversation for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. And you almost get shot hanging out with some rappers at a dice game. I get why Coach said, look, after these games, y'all go home, get a good meal, go home to your family. See, when you got something to lose, especially when you have status and people can make a name for themselves because they killed you, that argument that this Offset rapper, dude from the Migos, got involved in, or actually it was Quavo, but Offset happened to be there. That's another thing. You hanging around these situations. Stray Bullets ain't got no names. So now you're hanging around this situation and the doggone champion of the world is there, and you got these different groups of people there. People are looking at you, if you have anything to lose, like, either A, they might be jealous. B, they might want some type of reputation. C, they might just be wanting to take their frustrations out on somebody. And then, I'm a Bible believer, there is a such thing as demonic possession. You don't know what all is going through people's heads, but I know this much. You decrease the likelihood of some extremely silly stuff from happening in large numbers when you choose to be at home with your family. So take it for what it's worth. Take it for what it's worth. But I advocate being home, being in a safe place. Productive men, I just don't see how you have time for all this nightlife stuff. But okay, if you're going to do it, just understand what can come with it. And if you're a logical man and loss of life can come with this hanging out, now you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? And as always, never lose the will to win and never lose the will to survive.